Yo, what's up, my people? Hope you guys are all blessed and you're all doing well. So I'm just gonna go through a quick market breakdown of the trades that I took this week, and also the reasoning behind them, and also the daily bias, well, the weekly bias of this week. So let's go into EU. Obviously, this week on EU, we started around, we started, this is Monday. So we started here on EU, and to be honest, I was bullish for the first half of the week. We had a weekly fair value gap here, and we had a daily fair value gap in line with the trend to go up higher. But as you can see, since we swept this high up here and we came down and we broke this low, Monday was kind of a Judas candle. So this came down, came to fill this gap, and once it filled this gap, it induced a lot of people into buys. I got into buys and I made profit off the buys because I didn't hold them. Um, I did hold that trade for about a 5 hour, but yeah, I didn't hold them. I didn't really hold it into the next day like that. And then Tuesday came and we just kept dropping lower. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we dropped down for the whole week. So I'm gonna go down into this trade and break it down quickly for you guys. So this trade that I took here was on Euro USD on Friday. I did engage in sells. So we had our higher time frame key level, which is the 4 hour order block. Let's have a look at the order block here. So the order block was here, as you can see, this up close candle. The next candle we had was a down close candle engulfing it. So once we had a retest of this candle, was looking for price to come down lower and keep coming down lower to our draw liquidity. And yeah, go down into the 15-minute time frame. I pair my 4 hour time frame with my 15-minute. As you can see, we did have news. So whenever we have red folder news, I always look to trade after the red folder news. So EU pumped for news at 8:30. We pumped, and the pump was a fake pump. This was a fake pump to induce people into buys because all it did was just run out all the liquidity we built up for the day. As you can see, Asia highs are still intact, London highs are still intact, and we had all that sell side liquidity that got built, got taken out during the first sweep of news. And then what you know, once you make the Judas swing to take out the high, we had a SMT with GBP USD. So GBP USD actually took New York's high this day, whereas EU never took that high. And then from there, we just started to trickle down lower. We kept coming lower. And then once I got my change in state of delivery, the up close candles to take liquidity and form the SMT. Once you had a continuation of down close candle closing below, I took my trade off of the change in state of delivery in order to target around a 1 to, I got around a 1 to 3 hour on this trade. Even though it says 1 to 2 here, I made like around 3%. So let's go into the next trade. The next trade we took this week was gold. So if we go into the higher time frame with gold, I'm not gonna lie, at the start of this week I was bearish on gold, to be honest. So as you can see, we had this down close candle engulfing this daily gap, and then I was thinking, yep, we might come down, trickle into this gap down here, maybe a little weekly fair value gap on the weekly time frame. But no, we didn't. So we came into this level where we had a bunch of orders accumulating. This level was the original level that caused price to spike up and take this high. Once we came back down, we came to retest this level, which I also had marked out as a daily order block. So we had our daily order block down here. If we look on the daily time frame, you can see we've got a small little daily order block here. I had that marked out, and then we accumulated here. We swept the low, swept liquidity, and once we took this low, we broke this high, and it supported us to keep coming up higher. So let's look into the hourly time frame. Sorry, let's look into the daily. So obviously on the daily, I'm gonna break out how I took this trade. We had this daily fair value gap that was holding price higher. We wasn't willing to break this daily fair value gap. So then if you look into the hourly time frame, I pair my daily time frame with my hourly. Silver took Monday's low. Well, it didn't take Monday's low, but it took um 8 a.m. Monday's low, New York session time. So if we go down into the 15-minute time frame, it's a lot clearer to see because I've got the sessions marked out. We see this New York session low. This New York session low got took out by silver, but gold never took this out, and gold maintained itself within the daily key level. So if we look on the, if we go back to the hourly, because this is how I took the trade. I took the trade on the hourly time frame. You can see we accumulated for a bit. Asia session, London session accumulated, and once New York session came, we came and swept this low, forming the SMT within the weekly, sorry, within the daily key level. And then once we had broke above the series of down close candles that took liquidity, once we had closed above, I waited for a reaction to come into this change in state of delivery, and then I took my buy on gold. And obviously, we just kept trickling up to our joint liquidity, which is the external range, which is the range high at 4,500. And then as you can see, we made our profits here. Me, I didn't get out exactly at 4,500 because we had news on the Friday. So I was already up like, as you can see, I was already up like 4% on, I was already up like 4% on this position. So I didn't want to risk giving all that profit back on news. So I just took my profit and then waited for news, and news still hit our joint liquidity. But that's an important lesson for you guys as well. If you're already up a decent amount, why take the gamble on news? There's been so many times in the past where I could have been up 5, 6%, and then we've got news, and then news just takes out all my profits. Instead of me just being grateful and walking away, coming back to trade another day, I was still trying to hold to make more money. In this game, you got to you've really got to just take what you get, to be honest, and build yourself up to a substantial level where you can start to up your risk and then earn more. But yeah, that was the two trades that I took this week, guys. Hope you guys have a blessed week.